interesting technical factor that is taking place along with this lack of liquidity, though, is a lack of fear in the markets right now.
There is investor confidence picking up, and it's a cycle that we are seeing repetitively.
Hello, investors, and welcome to yet another 180 Markets Weekly Wrap. Well, friends, unfortunately, it was another slow and dreary week in the markets. And the biggest factor we are noticing, bar none, is a lack of liquidity. That's right. Trading volumes are down significantly. Spreads between bids and offers, again, widening out. And we are seeing even more evidence, not just in the equity markets, but in all asset classes. For example, when we look at property, housing starts here down significantly. So this really is a lack of liquidity. And another interesting technical factor that is taking place along with this lack of liquidity, though, interestingly, is a rise in consumer sentiment about markets. And evidence of this is just this week, the Standard & Poor's Investor Intelligence Survey actually ticked up 3 points to 51. And to put that 51 in perspective, typically you'll see big bounces in bear markets that are contra rallies, if you will, are down more around the 20-ish level. So what does it mean is that there is a lack of fear in the markets right now. So it's certainly something to watch. Sentiment can change very quickly, so it's a fast-moving issue, but it's certainly something to watch. And now turning towards more fundamentals, we are certainly seeing signs that the consumer is slowing down. We are seeing a number of companies miss earnings, and none bigger probably than this morning, and we're filming here on Friday morning, the earnings missed from Tesla, which is driving that share down about 10 or 11% in aftermarket hours trading. So that is happening as well. Now, it is not all negative news. There is some bright lights, and a couple of factors that we would like to point out is that number one, in mega cap commodity companies, those shares are starting to trade pretty well, and there does seem to be more liquidity that I alluded to as a lack of liquidity earlier, but is coming into those shares like Rio's, the Freeport-McMoRans over the world, Northern Star. So that is certainly something that we should be watching. And the second is gold. Gold is doing what it really should be doing, which is to be tracking inflation, keeping up, and being a general hedge. So in conclusion, patience right now is truly required, researching companies and taking markets one day at a time, knowing that most gains are made in very short periods of time. And now to talk about the markets themselves and what went on in ECM this week, I'll turn it over to Sean.
Thanks, Greg. And it is starting to get really frustrating because, as Greg said, there is investor confidence picking up. But as that happens, the market starts falling again. And it's a cycle that we are seeing repetitively, that the market goes up a bit and investor confidence comes back. And then the market's falling, and probably next week, investor confidence will fall. I guess what we've been hoping for, and a lot of other people out there, is a bit of capitulation when the market really falls and a lot of panic, and then it's a slow upwards trend from there. You never get what you wish for, especially in the markets. Now, let's start off with a chart of the All Odds for the last year. So we can see now it's actually starting to look a bit dangerous. It's had the last 6 weeks or so have not been great. We've had lower lows and lower highs, and so we got to watch a few levels on there because it could be dangerous. Now, I've been told to only speak about 3 placements this week, just to keep this a bit shorter. So let's start off with Liontown. So they called off, they had a takeover offer, and I think they cancelled that. And instead they decided to raise capital at a massive discount. So Liontown, as we can see, is down 31% today. They raised money at $1.80. So let's look at the market depth there. It is just holding that level. A bit worrying there for the whole sector that they had to raise at such a discount, but you can understand if the takeover bid's being called off, that's what they had to do. Now, a big raise that is live today is Latin Resources. They have become a bit of a serial raiser. They have been very successful over the last 5 years. This is a 5-year chart. So they were penny dreadful at the start of COVID. I reckon they almost went under at one point, but they've had a lot of successes and raising money today at 25 cents. Let's look over there. So they were last trading at 26.5. So that's a incredibly mild discount for a $30 million raise. So Canaccord and UBS are doing that. Now, IDA, so that was a $3.8 million raise by CPS. That was done at 5 cents a share, a very popular raise. We can see the chart that in July, this company had a massive run, and obviously a lot of investors still love the stock. It is trading a lot higher than where it was the end of last financial year, so hopefully it continues. Now, just quickly, AVM, they had to cancel the capital raise. Everyone had a view about the company, I think, and they announced a discounted SPP instead. That has been a terrible performer. Their last raise was a 1.2 and they tried to raise money at 0.4 and failed. It's now trading at a market cap of just $1.7 million. Yeah, the market's trying to tell you something, mister. I won't mention names. All right, let's take a look at TSO. Now, this is one company that I have followed for a while, and they have not had a great 6 months. They did bounce quite a bit this week. They announced that there was a gold anomaly at their Drone Hill project, and that helped turn the chart around. It did trade quite a bit high at one point, but yeah, it's good to see the volume back there. VMM, now this one was a very good one this week. Let's look at the chart. About 2 months ago, they were trading in the low 20s and they've had a lot of success. Trading at $1.20 now, so that's 6 times for anyone that held stock down here. And this one just keeps going up and up. This week they announced thick intercepts of clay, 87 meters, and that is pretty far and wide. Not even I go that wide. Finally, let's take a look at DCN. This one had a massive run up, I think Tuesday or Wednesday. They had a takeover offer from GMD. GMD has disclosed that this is their final offer, their best offer. Take it or leave it. So I'm not sure if DCN has advised their shareholders to accept the offer or not, but yeah, if I was a shareholder, I reckon I'd be saying thank you very much, thank your mother for the rabbits, and I'm out of there. All right, sorry guys, I was told to keep this short and brief. Hope that's all right. Give us feedback. If you want it shorter, want it longer, let us know. Also, any stocks you want us to cover, send us an email and we'll look at it for you and analyze in the best way we can. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thanks for watching another 180 Markets Weekly Wrap. If you want access to thousands of capital raises, sign up at 180markets.com.au and you'll get access to our very next capital raise. Thanks for watching.